Back in May of 2021, I pre-ordered a Prime 1 Studio Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla Diorama, and over the next 2 years, their artisans worked feverishly to bring a limited run of 400 of these beasts into the world. And now, I have one of them in my custody. We're going to open this thing up and we're going to see whether it was worth the wait. It comes in 2 huge boxes, one for the figure and accessories, and one for the base and a large skyscraper replica. Be sure to open box number 2 first in order to have the base ready by the time you get around to unboxing the Godzilla figure. You can just take him straight from the box to the base. The base itself is asymmetrical and has a good weight to it, but it's not so heavy that it's a burden to move. The skyscraper is nicely crafted with detailed damage and has a nice solid heft to it. The underside of the base shows the edition size, 34 out of 400 for me, and has some nice paleo cave style art featuring Godzilla. Before we set it all up, let's take a nice long look at the fine details the artists at Prime 1 Studio sculpted into this base. The surface is a destroyed city block with cracked rubble-strewn roads and abandoned vehicles and debris. And the outer edges have been sculpted in the motif of the hollow earth, as seen in Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. Prime 1 has spared no expense in bringing a miniature destroyed world for Godzilla to scale nicely into. There are layers and layers of eye-catching details scattered throughout the chaos. They even managed to reproduce the look of concrete dust or asbestos all over the vehicles in the streets. It's a very nice touch that really sells the devastation. Now that the base is ready, it's time for the Godzilla figure itself. It comes in a larger box than the base does, but it feels a lot lighter, which is a welcome surprise. Godzilla is all in one piece, and is nested in the middle of the styrofoam block, surrounded by a lot of little accessories for dressing up the diorama. Looks like a few medium-sized buildings and a handful of smaller solid resin smoke and flame plumes that attach to them. I was expecting Godzilla himself to be mostly solid and made of resin or polystyrene, but to my surprise he is much lighter than anticipated and seems to be mostly hollow and made primarily out of vinyl. The power node in the forward foot slots nicely into the conductor hole in the base. The skyscraper slots in only one way, so it's very simple. Orient the buildings with the power nodes aligned with the conductor springs on the base. It slips in and nests effortlessly, and is flush with no effort. You'll notice the same setup with the shorter destroyed building, just align and slot into place. Now we have these little translucent fire and smoke plumes which magnetize in place to different areas around the diorama. Again, no effort required. They slot in, magnetize, and stay firmly in place. Now for the vehicle accessories. A couple of helicopters, some cell tower stands, and a handful of rotors. You'll want to be very careful attaching the blades to the helicopter's main body. Those metal pegs are a little more than a wire and can easily bend or break. It even comes with a little Raptor 1 from the film Godzilla King of the Monsters. With everything in place, the entire scene comes together. The scale of Godzilla is overwhelming compared to the cars and buses, and you feel the Alpha Titan's presence dominating the landscape. Imagine being in one of those cars. This would just be a cataclysm that shakes you into feeling very small in comparison. Here's another look at the hollow earth motif that adorns the outer perimeter of the base. They could have just left a smooth black wall, but they decided to go the extra mile, which gives the overall impression of a piece of art. Godzilla himself on the base is huge, full of all the same sorts of details that make up the smaller scale vinyl version, only scaled up. The real prize is witnessing him among the buildings and getting a sense of his scale. Of course, besides the diorama, the secret weapon of this piece is that it lights up. Powered by a 5-volt 6-amp AC adapter, which you must supply yourself. Just plug it in and flip the switch and watch the dorsals charge up, as seen in all 3 MonsterVerse films featuring Godzilla. The light bulb in the mouth is particularly powerful. Meant to illuminate Kong on the other side of the diorama, the effect works brilliantly and is very impressive to say the very least. With the dorsals lit up, the contrasting armor details stand out sharply and elevate the entire statue to another level altogether. Even the flaming smoke plumes illuminate with the fiery glow, as well as the windows in the nearby buildings. Here you can see that there are lights underneath where the semi-translucent flames nest with the base, creating a really cool effect. Now let's compare it to the films in a low-light atmospheric showcase. Now let's see how the Prime 1 Studio Ultimate Diorama Masterline Godzilla stacks up to the Xplus Gigantic Series 2019 Godzilla. Clearly the Xplus is still larger and broader of chest and shoulders next to the Prime 1. But the details and paint are definitely superior on the Diorama. Crisper, cleaner edges, more accurate to what appears on film. The Prime 1 Studio Vinyl Godzilla is basically a scaled down version of this Ultimate Masterline. Though the pose is slightly different, the paint and details are very close to the point of being negligible. And here are the much smaller Xplus Large Monster Series 25cm scale Godzillas. I love them dearly, but they are candles in a thunderstorm compared to the Prime 1 Diorama. So, the Prime 1 Studio Ultimate Diorama Masterline Final Battle Godzilla lives up to and even exceeds the hype of being one of the most striking, faithful, and sought-after 2021 Godzillas in Prime 1's lineup. And it is for sure one of the very best presentations involving a light-up feature ever created. But a new challenger approaches and whispers, "Hold my beer." Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks to all the returning subscribers that keep coming back and supporting the channel. Your support is appreciated. I'm working on some story-driven content to throw into the mix, and I'm even gearing up to do some Godzilla giveaways in the near future. So stay tuned on more information about that and how to qualify. Next up will be a hot one, so be sure to melt that like and subscribe button, and make sure all your heat-resistant PPE is up to date. Until next time, see you, friends.